Yeah, we're live. We're gonna go to a video from Alex Jones in July 2001 as he seemed to be aware that something was coming in September of 2001.
I want the White House numbers up there now. A big part of the solution, after you research all the government terrorism and check out what I'm saying is true, call the White House and tell them, we know the government's planning terrorism. We know Oklahoma City and World Trade Center was terrorism. We know the Joint Chiefs of Staff wanted to blow up airliners, Baltimore Sun. If you do it, we're going to blame you because we know who's up to it. Or if you let some terrorist group do it, like the World Trade Center, we know who to blame. And you could save the planet. I'm calling it Operation Expose the Government Terror. Here's the point I keep making. Our border's wide open. Bush is saying the border is going to stay open. We're going to give the amnesty to any illegals from Russia, the Middle East, Mexico, Cuba. It doesn't matter. They are announcing that China is going to stay in the Panama Canal with missiles and troops.
September 19th.
None of
this
that's
is right after 9/11 now.
China signing a deal with the Taliban the day of the bombing for economic support in Afghanistan.
The exact video
that's not a threat.
For.
You need to wear a national ID card around your neck. You need to support face scanning cameras everywhere. You need to support giving up your liberty for security. But all the real threats are being left wide open.
This man was ahead of his time. You can't deny.
The government has their bunkers, has their shelters. They've always said you were a kook to have a gas.
I was in the military on September 11th. And right after that, they started giving us lots of classes about what not to watch. And I don't remember exactly what they told us not to watch, but I wouldn't doubt that Prison Planet, InfoWars, and shit was on that list.
Smashed to have a shelter, but they sure built a bunch of them.
But by 2004, I had seen an Alex Jones video. Somebody had passed me a DVD. It said, watch this video and pass it on. And I watched the DVD. Somebody at work gave it to me. And gosh, I can't remember the name of that documentary now. I've seen it since then. And it's basically explaining how 9/11 was an inside job. And that's when I started to wake up, 2004, 22 years ago. And then I started taking in all the info I could. I've basically been on YouTube ever since. Yeah, and I've gone down every rabbit hole you could think of. If you got a new rabbit hole for me, you let me know, because I remember in like 2015 when I was like, man, I've been down every rabbit hole. All these conspiracy theories are getting kind of boring and whatnot. And then Flat Earth came about. And I was like, man, no, this dude was like, you talking about Flat Earth? I was like, no, I ain't talking about no Flat Earth. What you talking about, bro? And then I was instantly, though, right back to YouTube, like, Flat Earth. And then seen some videos that, like, weren't very convincing. But then I seen Mark Sargent's Flat Earth Clues. But that's another video.
See what's happening. See what's unfolding. Wake up, America. This is
And then the next mind blower after 9/11 was Tartaria. I've probably been following that for like 7-8 years now. And yeah, I like it, man. The mud floods, the Star Forge, the orphan trains, the Cabbage Patch Kids, the incubator babies. Fascinating.
Meditated. The government is behind this, not the U.S. government, but the globalist. Now they're.
That's why I really stopped fucking with Alex Jones for a while. You know, I listened to him for a good 10 years and stuff. And then Flat Earth and stuff started making him seem like a gatekeeper, you know, because he wouldn't talk about it. He was piss passionate or whatever. And then like that right there where he just said the globalist, like name names, bruh. You act like you know, but then he always just says the globalist, like this all-encompassing term and shit. Like, you know, is Alex Jones here just to give us the info that we already know, to people who are awake, without revealing too much more? I don't know.
They're going to get a UN tax. Now they're going to get a world government, a UN court. Now they're going to get a UN rapid anti-terrorism force. And what stocks went up?
Coming up here, they're gonna get Charlie Sheen on the horn, and he was a huge star at the time, and they soon after this interview, I'd say they started to try to destroy his character.
Everything else went down. Visionic.
Because they'll try to assassinate your character first. If that don't work, they assassinate you. Some people ask me, how come they don't just assassinate Alex Jones? Well, because he's got archives, man. He's got it archived. He got receipts. He's got video after video, literally tens of thousands of videos where he's on point and making great points and exposing everything. And if you kill him now, you basically turn him into the Tupac of conspiracy theories, and we will all pedestalize him and dig deep into the archives to show how much stuff he's been right on. There'd be an army of people making Alex Jones clips if they assassinate him. So instead, they assassinate his character, and when that hasn't worked, they've literally shut down Infowars.com. In a second here, we'll go to Infowars.com and see if we can put it on, but I'm pretty sure it don't work no more.
North American Morpho Systems, biometrics companies, face scanning cameras, Lockheed Martin, defense contractors. The same people wiring our country for sound, making us the enemy. It's about destroying America. The dollar is no longer the reserve currency. That's why we could buy all these cheap slave goods from China and India, was because we had the world reserve currency, the fiat currency everybody wanted with no value. Now the euro is partially gold backed.
Alex Jones had to double back from the Newtown shooting stuff that he said, but without Alex Jones, I seen it live. It happened on my birthday. I'm at a hotel in the Dells, and I seen this shit happen, and the reports coming out live and whatever, and I was like, that ain't real. You know what I mean? That's a false flag right there. That's like a 6-week cycle. Man, I have to explain the whole 6-week cycle thing. Okay, let's get into it. Every 6 weeks or so, the FBI was seemingly pushing in a mentally unstable person to go shoot some shit up and basically coming to the rescue, and if they don't come to the rescue and it does go live or whatever, and he starts shooting people, a lot of times it was just crisis actors and things like that, and nobody's actually getting shot, but the news is running it as a real story. Straight up propaganda. The shit used to be illegal, but the Smith-Mundt Act, the repeal of the Smith-Mundt Act in like 2012, made it legal for U.S. companies to propagandize the American people, which American propaganda was only allowed overseas prior to that. But yeah, man, you can't believe nothing you see on TV.
The day the euro rolls out to banks,
especially the news, you can kind of believe stuff you see in movies because that's where they put the truth. They put the truth in the movies, and they put the lies on the news.
Monday, the day after our Twin Towers get blown, the dollar plunges, our stock markets plunge. Alan Greenspan gives $50 billion to the EU to prop up their banks that were exploding in power. You see what's happening?
Oh, I think it's what really angers me is that the American people, are scared to believe that their government could be involved in this. And whenever you want to talk to somebody about it, they totally disregard what you have to say.
Totally disregard, man. In 2004, I was trying to get in my uncle's ear, who was an officer of special investigation for the Air Force, and, tell my grandpa and stuff that our government had something to do with 9/11, and they weren't trying to hear none of it. None of it.
Because, it's out of the question. My government would never do this, da-da-da-da-da.
No, it's
I tried to tell my grandpa his brother probably got polio from the polio vaccine as a kid, and boy, he wasn't trying to hear that neither.
Yeah, I know they let Pearl Harbor get attacked, and Hitler burned the Reichstag. I was talking to a smart guy today. He goes, but I don't want to believe that. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, not
it's field position.
Yeah, not to get into a whole different conversation, but the whole, the educational system
What is
and
he
whatnot.
doing?
By the way, I like the whole educational system and whatnot. I mean, America is, comparatively
Tyler must be
speaking, a
watching
dumb nation.
live.
I mean, as far as education is talking about, and we don't have any sort of
You hear
idea
people in the background
about
giggling.
what our government is capable of, and we don't want to believe that our government is capable of doing
Fucking
something such as
babies.
this. And therefore, whenever something like this happens, we want to blame it on somebody else, like Osama bin Laden.
Well, look, people don't have to admit the government was behind it. The evidence is clear they were. It is September 11th, 2009.
September 11th, on the day.
Tragic events that hit New York
sure
and
this is where
Washington,
they get
D.C.
Charlie
Operation
Sheen on the
Northwoods, the
horn.
official U.S. government plan to stage terror attacks in U.S. cities to start a foreign war with Cuba and the Soviets. Operation Ajax, staging terror attacks in Iran to blame it on their government, declassified. Gulf of Tonkin, admittedly staged to get us into the Vietnam War that killed over 1 million Vietnamese and 58,000 Americans. False flag terror is real. But Charlie Sheen of Platoon and Wall Street and Major League, and of course the #1 top paid TV star, Charlie Sheen is simply asking questions. And he's with us now into the bottom of the next hour. For a full hour today, Bob McIlvaine, who lost his son in the towers, will be joining us coming up later in the next hour for the last 15 minutes of this interview. Joining us from his home in Los Angeles is Charlie Sheen. Charlie, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Alex. It's great to be here, as usual. I think right off the top, we need to take a moment of silence for the victims of September 11th. Just know that those are the memories that we're honoring today.
Squibs. You see that? That's a squib. There's a squib. That's showing explosives in there right there. Yeah, that building was laced with explosives. They had just redone the elevator shafts in there. Something with the elevators. And I think that was just a ploy to install all the devices. Man, I need to go find some more 9/11 clips. I can't find them on YouTube real
Stay
good
with
though.
us. I'm excited about freedom.
I have
You
to go to
matter.
BitChute.
You have power. Get involved today. Get excited about freedom. This is how normal.
All right, man.
When we got armored.
It's my first live stream. I'm just trying to test it out, see how this works. I'm gonna end this stream and edit this video and see how it turns out. Hopefully the audio and whatnot is all right. Peace out.